You know, when Animal Crossing's New Horizons was first revealed for the Switch, I didn't really give it much attention. I never played any of the previous games before. I knew it was a original IP from Nintendo. I knew it was a very popular franchise, but I always thought it was just another farming sim similar to that of Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, which I already have for the Switch. But as hype grew for this game and as I began to look more into it, I decided to pick this game up on the day of launch. About a week has gone by now, and I'm still very much a newcomer to the Animal Crossing world, but I put a good amount of time in so far on this game, and I have some thoughts on it. So, without further ado, let's jump into it.
Okay.
I was convinced into buying New Horizons because I had heard that it would be a great game for me and my son to play together, even though I often don't have the free time to actually sit down with him and play together side by side. I figured that this would be a fun way for us both to participate in the same game, even though we play at different times of the day. You know, you add to the fact that this whole virus scare has been really building up, and I just felt like a Zen garden type game would be a very therapeutic way of passing the time, while also being able to bond more with my son. Look, if you're looking for a TLDR, I'll just say this. Animal Crossing New Horizons is a very therapeutic and relaxing game that you can just simply sit down and enjoy. It's got a little bit of everything for most players to enjoy and have a good time with, and it can really take up as much time as you want it to take. Whether you're wanting to practice your interior design skills on your home, or maybe fill the nearby museum with every single dinosaur fossil that you've unearthed, or even just creating the biggest flower garden on your island, there's something to enjoy for everyone on their new island getaway. The game's crafting system is straightforward and, in my opinion, has a wonderful simplicity to it that makes collecting materials and crafting much more enjoyable than in many other games that I've played where crafting is simply just tacked on almost like an afterthought. Now, the co-op is quite a bit of a mixed bag for a lot of people, and understandably so. You can play via online or local wireless, which both work fine enough, but I think a lot of people get this game primarily for the local party play, which is where a lot of this controversy stems from. First off, when it comes to the couch co-op, there's a simple leader-follower system. The leader has complete access to the inventory and can talk to other NPCs. All the follower can do is cycle through tools and help collect resources, which if any are collected by the follower, they go directly to the recycling chest automatically. You see, who's ever the first profile to start up Animal Crossing, they become sort of the main representative of this new island. They get to decide what the island layout is going to be like, as well as give the island its name. Not only that, they become the only person who can really progress with the island's advancement. Other profiles that start up their own game have to join the island that the initial player founded. They can't progress in the expansion of the island, but they can pay off their debt and do some crafting, as well as collect other resources for themselves, or maybe donate to the museum. Now, if you have a younger sibling, or like in my case, a 5-year-old son, then this system works just fine, because they can play on their own, and you can still coordinate together to expand the island. When making Nook's Cranny, for example, I was the one who could build the actual shop, but I'd have my son help by collecting resources that I needed in order to deposit them for the building of the store. At night, when I'd be laying in bed playing the game, I'd go to the recycling chest and find materials that my son had collected throughout the day, and then I would take those over and I could use those as the materials to turn in to make any necessary upgrades. For my son and I, this system totally worked just fine, and we had a lot of fun with it. But if you have two people on one system who both want their own island, or at the very least want more control, sadly you'll need your own separate Switch. And it's really a bummer, because I feel like if each player just simply had the choice at the very beginning to either go to a new island or play the one that was already inhabited, this would solve a lot of people's gripes. Nintendo seems to have treated this game similar to New Leaf, which was on the 3DS, and while that kind of makes sense for the Switch because it is a handheld system, it's also a dockable system, and because of that it makes this system really annoying because it's not just a handheld system. For many people, this is treated as a home console. With a 3DS, typically only one person would ever use it, but it's very common for multiple people to be using the same Switch because that's the primary home console. Also, during the process of unlocking new vital DIY recipes, which only the primary player can do, the other players don't get these recipes unlocked on their phones like the main player does. Instead, they have to head to the shop and then buy the recipe card themselves. So even if the other players had helped collect resources to get to a certain point in the game, the main player reaps all the rewards from it. On top of that, there doesn't seem to be any sort of notification to other players that a new recipe is now available for purchase. Even a simple letter in players' mailboxes saying that a new DIY recipe is available at the store would have been really nice just to have that info. And look, with all of that being said, I still really like the game, and I am glad that I bought it personally. Any player can spend the day just trying to collect and discover new things, and fans of collectathons will really love this game. If you're like my son, you'll spend hours and hours designing different patterns for clothes and furniture alike. And though some may find it difficult to know what they should be doing, while you can always work towards paying off your debt, the game is kind of like Minecraft, where you kind of make your own objectives and fun along the way. Don't get me wrong, it's not a game for everyone, but in my opinion, it's a lot of fun, and it's the kind of game that is great for just simply turning the brain off and pretending that the world isn't ending and everything is just fine. Well, that about does it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for checking out the video and the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider giving it a thumbs up, as it is the best way that you can help a small channel like us get seen through the algorithm. And if you like this kind of content and want to see more, do be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell icon. That'll keep you up to date on everything we are doing. We make videos every Monday and Friday, as well as do gameplay live streams on Wednesdays. And I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on Animal Crossing New Horizons. Are you one of the many people who bought this game, or are you not really interested in this at all? If you have this game, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think that the multiplayer is a bit convoluted and not fair for a lot of people on one Switch? Or do you like everything just the way it is and are having a great time? Any and all thoughts I would love to hear in the comments down below. Be sure to follow us on all the social media stuff that we are on: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But with all that being said, thanks again so much for watching. My name is Blake, and for all things tech, games, movies, and other nerdy things in between, be sure to subscribe to Digital Cynics. Have a good one, everyone.